on how to plan startups and legal ethical steps, organized by the Department of CSE, Sri Krishna College of Engineering and Technology. I am happy to welcome our resource person, Dr. Doreen Robin, founder and director, Computational Intelligence Research Foundation, Chennai. She is a data scientist and a machine learning and deep learning trainer and a keynote speaker. She received her B.Tech in Information Technology from Madras University, Chennai, ME in Computer Science and Engineering from Anna University, Chennai, and Ph.D. in Computer Science and Engineering from Anna University. Her research interests include parallel and distributed computing, peer-to-peer computing, grid computing, cloud computing, and big data analytics. Previous positions offers include professor and head at Loyola Icahn College of Engineering and Technology in the Department of IT, assistant professor at Department of Computer Science and Engineering, Sri Venkateswara College of Engineering, Chennai, teaching research associate at the Department of Computer Science, Anna University, Chennai, and assistant professor at the Department of IT, Assistant College of Engineering, Chennai. She has published about 30 papers in international and national journals and conferences. She is a life member of ISTE. She is a reviewer for Computer and Electrical Engineering Journal and Future Generation Computer Science Journal. She had been the resource person for the workshop on digital classroom, big data analytics using Hadoop, data science using Python, machine learning, deep learning, cognitive computing, software testing, blockchain technologies, cybersecurity, and cyber forensics. She has trained more than 7,500 faculty, students, and corporates on the latest technologies. She is a member of the Board of Studies at SRM Valiamai College of Engineering and Jerusalem College of Engineering. In addition, she is the administrator of Bethel Group of Schools. We welcome you, ma'am. Now, I welcome our principal, Dr. G. Janet, our head of the department, Dr. K. Sasikarani, and all the faculties and students for this seminar. I welcome you all. Thank you. Now, I request our resource person, Dr. Doreen Robin, to take over the session.
Thank you so much, Priya, for the wonderful introduction. On behalf of Computational Intelligence Research Foundation, I would like to thank the entire management of Sri Krishna College of Engineering and Technology, Coimbatore, for having invited me to handle the seminar on how to plan for startup and legal and ethical steps. A very special thanks to the chairperson and management trustee, ma'am, Malarvili ma'am, and special thanks to the principal of this wonderful institution, Dr. G. Janet, and a special thanks to Dr. K. Sasikala ma'am, the HOD of this Department of Computer Science and Engineering. And I'm wonderful to have got the invitation from Mr. M. Venkateshwaran, the coordinator of the session, and a very, very thankful note to all the students of the Department of Computer Science and Engineering for having. I know you are on the study holidays, and in spite of your hectic schedule, you have taken time to come into the talk and to listen to it. All right, and sometimes the online talks looks to be blindfolded, and because we are all kept our cameras off. If it is okay for you, and also I strongly encourage those who could switch on your cameras, kindly do switch on your cameras. All right, so I hope some of you will definitely switch on your cameras. And coming on to the session, this session will be totally an interactive session. And I'm in Chennai and you are in Coimbatore. Some of you will be in different places, but we are wonderfully gathered together today to speak about how to plan for startups and what are the ethical and legal issues related to it. All right. And today, before I start with the session, I'm going to ask you all a question. You can give the answers on the chat. How are you today? How are you today? You can give a single letter word a single word on the chat. If you wish, you can also unmute. I hope you are all able to hear me, right? How are you?
Yes,
yeah, thank you, Priya. Can I post your answers on the chat? How are you today? Otherwise, I need to assume that you all have switched on your Google Meet and then you moved away from rooms. Those are listening to the talk. This is a very simple question. It's not anything out of syllabus. Yeah, I've got the response from Priya. How are you today? Very well. Thank you, Selva Kumar. Thank you, Vinisha. Great. Thank you, Fernandez. All well, ma'am. What about? All right, it generally happens. That's fine. What about others? Only four of you are listening. What about? Yeah, thank you, Sri Giri. Great. And listen to the talk very, very clearly. Maybe at the end of the talk, we are going to have a live quiz wherein you'll be participating in the quiz and we'll see who's the winner for the day. These responses only is a very good strong note for me, for the faculties, to literally know who are all listening to the talk right now. Thank you, Yashwant. It's nice to hear that Srigiri, you said that you're doing well. What about others? All right. Now moving on to thank you, Mikalia, Varun. Now let's move on to the session. So how many of you have got some ideas to do a startup? I'll be asking this question. Any ideas you've got, you can share it during the middle of the session. All right. And the way you step in will not be the way that you step out. And it is wonderful that you are all on live today to the session. All right, and also I'm live streaming on the session on YouTube. At the end of the session, we'll be sharing the link. Okay, before we start the session, right, we are going to play a very small game. Listen very carefully. Okay, listen very carefully. I'll be posting an image where the word will be different from the color. Say, for example, if the color is RED, but the color of the word would have been typed in green. So you need to read the color of the word, not the word. I repeat it. You need to read the color of the word, not the word, from the start first to the last, and again from the last to the first. All right. Is it clear? I'll be showing an image where you need to read the color of the word, not the word. And 30 seconds will be given. And you have to read it from the first to the last, again from the last to the first. All right. Is this game rules clear with you? If it is clear, post it onto the chat. Clear? Not clear, just put not clear. You need to read. You need not unmute your mics, but read it in your mind. At the end of it, I will give options for two people to share your experience. You need to read the color of the word, but not the word. Is it clear, students? Thank you, Selva Kumar. Thank you. Okay, here we go. All right, let's start. You need to read the color of the word, but not the word. From this word yellow to green, and again from green to yellow. Quickly read the color of the word, not the word. You should not read it as yellow, it should be green, red, and so on. We have got finally 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay. Now let me ask you, how was this experience? How was this game? One of you can unmute and speak. As one of you, one or two, you can unmute and speak, or you can type your experiences on the chat. How did you feel? Because if I would have told you, you need to read the word, it would be more easier for you to read the word. But rather, I emphasized and asked you, this game is to read the color of the word, but not the word. As any volunteers, you can raise hands. I could call in your name. You can unmute and speak your experiences. Kindly be quick. The entire session is 1 hour session. Anyone who really play the game? Yes, Selvakumar, can you share your experience? Can you please unmute your mic? Or anyone? If you don't answer, I need to think that you're just connected, not listening. Yes, Vairamuthu. Would you like to share, Vairamuthu? Just your experience. It could be successful, it could be failure, you should have completed, not completed. Anyone would you like to share? Any one student? Any one student would you like to share? No one? Okay. I would like to have the session to be an interactive session. Rather, I need to assume that if you're not going to give responses, it will be like you're just switched on. It was in thank you, Vinisha. Okay, break the protocol of having a shame factor. Nobody is going to think anything about you. You could speak in English, you could speak in Tamil, the language we can understand. Okay, it was interesting. I needed so much of concentration focus. Thank you, Vinisha. These are some responses. Thank you. Needed more, so much of concentration. Yeah, we intend to read the word, but not the color, right? Because we have been practiced to read the word. But a small change on it, it takes a lot of concentration and focus on toward it. And even in 76 of you, we are here, maybe excluding me. Yeah, now it's 77. Okay, people come and go. That's fine. There will be some who had really played the show, played the game, and some would have neglected it, and some would have tried it, and some would want to share, like Venisha and Priya share. Some really wanted to share, but you don't share. All right, so there are different categories. Being in the 21st century skills, what is more needed? See here, in collaboration with the IIC, Department of Computer Science and Engineering of Sri Krishna College, how to plan for startups, the legal and ethical steps. See, students today, you are in a competitive market because the job keeps changing every day. You take myself, I had completed my PhD and I was working for a decade in different engineering colleges, being a professor, and then I started my company. I'll be sharing about my company, what type of company it is, how it has been incorporated, what is a vision, what is a mission statements. All right, and being students now, the India and TamilNadu government have paved a wide open range of opportunities exclusively for students to have your own startup. Okay, I'm going to ask you a question. What is needed for a startup? If you want to do a startup, what is needed for a startup? What is needed? Kindly do answer. If you want to have a startup, if you want to have a startup company, what is that is much needed? Please do answer. Then otherwise I could give a talk and idea. Rightly said, Priya. What about others? Is idea? Others? I'd like to hear from you. Idea and confidence. The power of idea is more important. Others? Idea, confidence. What about others? Goal and focus. Thank you, Akhilesh. Professionalism. Thank you. Let me put these words on the Jamboard. Beautiful, wonderful students. Yes, money, exactly needed, Pradeep, money. Then, what about others? Well, very good, energetic students. Idea and purpose, yes, idea and purpose. Well said. Then others, could you please share? Others. Okay. Here you've given so many words like idea, purpose, this, that. That's all looking very sounding very good. Can you tell me anybody has got any good ideas which is existent? Ma'am, if this functionality would have been there, it would be more comfortable. Maybe using your mobile phones or any day-to-day items that you do use it. If this is of this kind, it will be, maybe it is not available, but you think if it is coming like that, it will be even more wonderful. Anybody has got any ideas like that? Any idea? Maybe in the middle of the session, I could ask you one or two, you could share your ideas. Very good responses that I had got it from you. All right, idea, confidence. Um, what are the words you said? One of you said idea. That sounds really good. And the other person said confidence. And the other person said goal. Other person said focus. And one person said, mm, you need money. What are the other things you said? Whether I left anything? A goal, focus, money. Collaborating with the experienced persons. Very well said, very well said, very well said. Idea and purpose, professionalism, purpose. Okay. Then some of you said professionalism. Any other ideas? You can share it, because I want you to share it, because this talk is for you, not for me. And one person said, right, collaborating, yeah, with experienced persons. Uh, that's a very good idea, because one cannot grow. You need to have a collaboration. I hope I have added all. Whether did I leave anything that you have shared? Professionalism, confidence. Okay. So these are some things that you have told that's more important for a startup. Yes, I truly agree to it. I truly agree to it. So something or the other, you have got a vision of starting what is all needed for a company to start up with the company. Most important thing is the four-letter word called idea. How your idea is going to be different, how it will be more usable in the marketplace, and how it is going to be useful, right? There are many things that are first, when being a student in 21st century, 4C is very important. 4C. One is a critical thinking. How do you think critically? How are you creative? How are you able to collaborate with each other? How are we able to communication? Even though today, what I'm speaking and you are responding is a kind of communication. I hope you will agree with that. I'm asking certain questions and you'd like to answer from the knowledge you have. And one student beautifully given, right? Collaborating with the experienced person. And you need to be more creative in your own thinking. You've got a huge, this are the learning skills that is needed. Okay, when you come into the literacy skills, there's huge information, and how are we going to fetch the information, the media and the technology. In life skills, we need to be flexible with people, and you are a leader for yourself. You are a leader for yourself, and that should be an initiative, the productivity and social skills. So these three skills are mandatory. for a student. Okay, when we studied, we didn't have an opportunity of this wide range of having a startups. You nowadays see the startup project of Tamil Nadu, the startup project of India, they are strongly encouraging students to have a startup. Okay, I'm going to ask you this question. How many of you, maybe after you complete your course or sometime in your life, you would like to start up your own company? uh, Forget about the fact you have an idea, you don't have an idea, that's more needed, but there is something called dedication and passion that needs to burn. I had this dedication and passion to start up a company, and I will speak about my company, what are the 4 pillars and what type of company it is, right? So I will share my story with you. How many of you have got some ideas? Maybe sometime in my life I need to start up my own company. It could be any kind of businesses. That I'm not going to ask you. You would have got an idea or you don't have an idea. That also is okay. If you would like to have start up any company in the future, type Y on the chat. If you don't have an idea, no, I want to work for companies and grow the existing companies, and I need to be a salary paid person per month, that's fine. Then type N. If you have a thirst or if you have got a passion to start up your own company anytime in your life, type Y on the chat. If you don't have a passion, type N on the chat. Yes, please, kindly be quick. Just I'm asking one letter to type it onto the chat. Y or N? Are you there with me? It could be your own interest. I'm not going to compel you, but I want to get some responses, either Y or N. Is my question clear? If you would like to have a startup anytime in your life, not next year, not the following year, maybe not next 5 years, anytime do you have an idea of starting up a startup? Y means give. If it is yes, give Y. If it is no, type as N. Are you able to get me? Are you able to get me? Yes. So I could see marketing. Okay, so one of them have given us marketing skills. Vinisha, Y, yes. Ritika, Shweta Harini, yes. Srigiri, yes. Manivannan, yes. Selva Kumar, yes. And Pradeep VRS. So I think Sri Krishna College has rightly done the exact job of having this session for you. I'll forget about the fact that you've got an idea or you don't have an idea. If you've got a dedication and passion, you'll be able to do it. Now let's move on to this fact. What are the different types of companies which a startup can register in India? Which a startup can register in India? Very recently this company has come into existence. The Company Act in 2013 introduced a new concept called one-person company. You always think company is a big company, many employees, you need money, investing. I'll be telling about the different types. This is one of the latest concept introduced in India, wherein only one person who's a citizen of India can register a private limited company in India with some limitations. It's wonderful. I don't know how many of you know about this OPC before, one person company. Do you know about it before? Yes or no? Anybody here? Do you know about this OPC? OPC, it stands for one person company. No. Yes, see, even being one person, you can start up a company. There are different methods, but I'll tell you how it works. Okay, so what does a company registration? When you want to register with your company, every company you need to have a director. Even in the browser today, you should have seen my name, founder and director. Each of the directors of companies would be allotted a number called as DIN number, which stands for Director Identification Number. Okay, and the first step, a director needs to be registered, and he will get a unique number called DIN number. I will share my DIN number with you. And then, what is the name of the company that you'd like to have? See, my company's name is Computational Intelligence Research Foundation. All right. And there are rules because when you see this is my company website, crf.co.in. All right. It stands for Computational Intelligence Research Foundation. The company that I have registered is a Section 8 company, which is a section. I will tell you about Section 8 company. It is a non-profit organization where we basically focus on research, development, education, and training. All right. And because it is a Section 8 company, it is mandatory that I need to incorporate the word called foundation. When I started this company, the name that I applied for is called Computational Intelligence Research Institute, CIRI. Not that Apple Siri, CIRI. Then because I'm going to apply for a Section 8 company, when it goes for the approval for the government of India, they say, no, you cannot have the word as institute. When you're going for a Section 8 company, you need to mandatorily have the word called as foundation. That is what my intention of my proposed name of my company was Computation Intelligence Research Institute. Rather, there is proposals for every name. Then I changed to be Computational Intelligence Research Foundation. The name foundation is more important. Okay, the name foundation was mandatory to be having a Section 8 company. So coming into this fact here, so they have the route for the reservation. Then incorporation. There is no defect, then you get an incorporation certificate. I'll show my sample certificate. And then I've got a PAN number, permanent account number. It's allotted and it is dispatched. It comes through the post. And I've got a TAN number, which is TAN number is also allotted for my tax filings. Okay. So these are it takes almost 7 to 10 days to complete this registration. But speaking practically, it took even longer time for me. Okay, I don't say in 10 days I was able to incorporate. No, for me basically it took almost 3 months to get it incorporated. Okay, so when I take my example of company, it's Computation Research Foundation, and it was established in the year 2017. Can you see there is a license number? This is the license number of my company, the PAN number of my company, the TAN number. I have also registered for NGO DARPA. Okay, that's what this is my DARPA number. There are 2 directors for Section 8 company. This is myself, Doreen Robin, and my husband, C.R. Robin, and we are the directors. All right, and totally it is a non-profit organization. And this is a certificate of incorporation that you could get it. Computational Intelligence Research Foundation. You can see it is incorporated on 8th of August 2017. Okay, this is the SIN number of the company, which is called as corporate identity number. All right, and here you could find it out, the PAN number of the company. 8th day of August 2017, 8/8/2017. Can you see? It has been incorporated, unlimited by guaranteed. This is how you get it. What are the 4 pillars of CIRF? We work with research, we work with the development of products, we train students, faculties, and corporates, and also we focus more on education because I hail from a purely an academician background. Okay, what is IPR in higher education institution? Because you all belong to a higher education institution, right? At colleges like Ashok Junjunwala, he was the one person who was the brain behind making startups with collaboration of students and faculties right from where they are, where the institution they are going to do it. Because as students, you've got plentiful ideas in your mind, but you need to be formulated in such a way with the support of faculty members, with the strength of the institution. You can have your startup right and where the college that you're doing. Okay, is there any startups in your college or in your department? Is there any startups? Anybody has got a startup? Yes, no? If yes, can I get the name? Okay. So IP, intellectual property at colleges and universities, refers most important to the products that, as see, students have got different idea. Faculties have got rich information, rich knowledge. Okay, you have got an idea, they have got knowledge, and when you both collaborate, you can bring out innovative projects. Okay, students, staff, okay, faculty, student research and scholarship. IP falls into two categories, by patent law and by copyright law. Okay, because it's IIC, I know some of you them would have given talk about on the patent. I've just touched here and there about patents. Okay, on the occasion of National Innovation Day on 15th October, it is, what is special about October 15th? What is special about October 15th? Anybody could say? What is special about October 15th? It is the birth date of Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. So in 2020, right, the MIC, okay, the IIC MIC, they've inaugurated Kapila, which stands for Kalam Program for IP, Intellectual Property Literacy and Awareness. What is its objective? Okay, objective is to recognize and facilitate and felicitate the intellectual property innovations and best practices only in higher education institution like your college. To overcome the limitations of this innovation ecosystem, okay, what is the need of IP filing? What are the mechanism involved? How will you be able to file it? How will you be able to see? That is why they are organizing lectures among students and faculties of engineering college. The reason behind it, because to protect your new ideas, your research and innovation. At the end of every final year students, they're doing plentiful projects. They've got with their idea. Sometimes the seed get buried and it is not growing into a plant, it is not growing into a tree, and it is not giving any yield. Yes. What to protect your new ideas, to protect your research, the innovations, they need to be registered properly. How it could be registered? That is what it has been given here. All right. It was virtually launched by Union Education Minister Ramesh Sir on 89th birth anniversary of a former president, right? Late and scientist, late Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam on 2020. And up till 2021, so many students have registered, faculties have registered. I know some of them, this amount number would have been increased. Whether SKCET has registered for Kapila? Yes or no? Why you are all silent? You can give me an answer. Okay. So this is the website. You can make a note of it, post which you'll be able to go and check it out. Okay. So what are intellectual property rights? See, mic.gov.in, mic.gov.in/Kapila. That's it. So making a note, kindly make a note of it. This is exclusively for higher education institutions like your college. If you've already done it, that's fine. If you have not done it, kindly do register for it. All right. See, mic.gov.in. See, it was the series of talk given here. Can you see? Educating new generation of innovators, problem solvers, restructured policy for startups, Smart India Hackathon, So many things have been done. Okay, so many things. So kindly do find it out. What are the opportunities available? Okay, I already you have an IIC. In that only see in that there's one part called Kapila. Okay. Now coming on. So intellectual property right, what it gives rights to persons over the creation of their mind. And they have a right to use over the creation for certain period of time. If you've got any ideas, you can post in your names. I could call you up and you can share any ideas if you have. Ma'am, this is like this, ma'am. It could be like this, then it will be even more better. Okay. Any gadgets or anything that comes up in your mind, kindly think about it and please do share. What is a vision of India's national IPR policy? An India where intellectual property stimulates creativity and innovation for the benefit of all. So, one word I want everybody to focus right now, those who are listening to the session, is that innovation. That's more important, innovation. How, what innovation is, that is what we are going to see. See, when you take into IPR in higher education institution, universities like you or public research institutions directly contribute to innovation and research in further emerging economies. All right, this could be credited, okay, to the national IPR policy approved by the United Union Cabinet in May 2016, very recently, which was the ever IPR policy framed by the government of India, especially for higher education. That is what I said. It when we studied, we didn't have an opportunity like that. See, two words are very important: innovation and creativity. You remember I told you about 4 C's. That's more important for any students. All right. So primary focus of this policy is innovation. Innovating something which is non-existent, which makes our works easier. Before we were all washing our grandmothers, grandpas, they're washing the clothes. Now washing machine had come. Now they're washing the vessels. Now dishwasher has come. There is some kind of innovation that people have made. Before we didn't have anything called as a mobile phone. Right now we have got something called mobile phones, which connects us to the people of the world. Before we, if you have only STD, IST, then only you can call people outside. But now using WhatsApp calls or Zoom calls or anything, we'll be able to connect. See, using Google Meet, that's an innovation that we're getting connected to. So now one I'm speaking like 71 people are listening to this talk right now. I'm not traveling. All right. So it is the place where most of the basic ideas led to researchers and converted on inventions. Okay. It converted into inventions. So IPR gives the right way for the inventors, okay, to protect their invention and spread the idea worldwide to use it. IPR helps to convert your inventor's idea. That is what you all said. You remember what is more important? You all said about idea. You remember you told about idea? This is more important. This is more important for any kind. I was expecting this word innovation when you were saying about what are the needed things. Idea is more important. All right. So coming into this, you have an idea in your college. You can have before you go. Startup is the final thing, right? You and your faculty members can collaborate with the research and find out a solution to the idea and go on for invention, then quickly file it. That's what the legal and ethic. You have to file what is that you have invented. Otherwise, some other person can claim your inventions. And then you can have it as a startup and then moves on to the entrepreneur. Is this step you are able to follow the step idea to research, research to invention, invention to idea and to startup? Are able to understand till now? How many of you are connected to this talk right now? Type Y on the chat. How many of you are connected to this talk right now? Type Y on the chat. If you are not connected to the talk, type in on the chat. Let me see how many of you are responding. This will give me an attendance count. How many of you are literally listening to this talk? Yeah, Vinisha, Dayanesh, Shweta Harini, Shrigiri, Yashwant. Only 5 out of 71. Mani 1 and 6. What about others? Only 6 of you are listening. 7. Priya. All right. Kavin Raj, Satish Kumar. Satish Kumar is not listening, so he is giving in. Okay. All right. So you have to validate your ideas, file for patents published, and it is granted. Then you go on for patent valuation and how it is usable in the market, and you're licensing the patent and technology transfer. This is your IP flow from one step to the other. But more important is your idea. These are number of patents registered by universities and colleges for the last 10 years. So in IP, you have got your copyrights, your geographical indication, your patents, trademark, and trade secrets. So copyright, you could have seen in your books, right? See, it has been copyrighted. All right. The trademarks. All right. And you can see the different logos, right? When you see an Apple logo, Apple with a bit we tail, it's Apple. All right. So each of them, they've got their own logos. Right? Geographical indication. What is Madurai famous for? What is Madurai famous for? Madurai எதுக்கு famous? Why? What is Madurai famous for? Do you have an answer or you don't have an answer? What is Tirunelveli is famous for? Tirunelveli. No answers? What is Rajapalayam famous for? See, you have like Madurai Malli, Tirunelveli Alva, Rajapalayam dog. So, which has got Mysore Park. Okay. So, it has got a place associated. So, that comes under geographical indication. Anything that is functional that you have developed, then it goes into pattern. All right. Copyrights or the artistic work or your writings or music or so many things. Okay, trade secrets are the ones they protect the secret information. How the coke is being, what is the formula to prepare the coke? Okay, the trademark, I told you, right? The Apple logo for cell phones. They protect, it's a branding. It's a branding. Every product has got their own kind of branding. The copyrights, your authorships, the books, the movies, the drawings that you do. Something that's functional. The swipe feature of each one is different. And all these things are being patented. Okay, you have to do a market research before you start working. After you do, what is your define your objectives? Second step, determine your research design, how it is going to be usable in the market. Prepare your research instruments. You need to collect the data, analyze the data, visualize, and communicate your findings. So these 6 steps are important before you launch a product into the market. And also try for intellectual property talent search examination, which comes every year. Okay, and also it strongly encourages faculties and students also. All right, find it out on to the website. So these are the different IP offices in India, the patent offices in Chennai, Delhi, Bombay, and the design, industrial design, the trademarks, the geographical indicators, the IC registry, the design of ICs, and the copyright registry. So coming into National Innovation and Startup Policy for Government 2019, it's a guide of framework, guiding framework, especially for higher education institutions. Okay, have you registered for NISP? Have you registered for NISP? NISP? I don't know, not getting proper response. Okay. Okay. So we need to take into this. This is National Innovation Startup Policy, a framework especially done for the students and the faculty. Okay, I told you, right? When we studied, we didn't have an option of having a startup while we are having our own what do I say, our own college, right? When we are in a college, we didn't have. But now you see HEI, which is higher education institution. They promote innovation and entrepreneurship. They create the pathways. You have an idea, start working right now. Okay, what is the norms for faculties and students for innovation and startups, right? What are the students for entrepreneurship and startup pursuits? So many wide areas, IP ownership, the pedagogy. Okay, what are the highlights? Creation of innovation funds for supporting and allocating minimum from your institution, 1% could be allocated for the startup or the entire income of your college. An academic break for a semester or a year for the students, for the faculties. Okay, 2 to 9% of stake in startup companies by institution incorporators. All right, equity, zero based fee. This is the implementation launch of campaign, then inviting a senior member to implement at the institution level. Then there's a project, that is what you're doing a training now, and the monitoring and how to incorporate the changes. The formulation, policy implementation, and policy impact creation. I told you about, right? He was the professor from IIT Madras. He was the one, Professor Ashok Junjunwala. He was the one person who was the brain behind bringing startups right from where they are in the college. An excellent work. Okay, an excellent work. These are the people, and you can download what are the startup policy that you need to have. All right, and all the things you'll be able to get from here. nisp.mic.gov.in. Okay, you're able to understand till now? Yes, no? Whether you're able to understand or you're learning something new, trying to get something new? Any responses? Not even one response? Let me see. Yes, thank you, Vinisha. Thank you, Shweta. Okay. Okay, next moving on to, this is the policy that you can find it out, and if you want I could share the startup policy onto the chat. Maybe some time or the other can read it. So and coming into government of India, sorry, government of Tamil Nadu, what we have seen is government of India. There is something called Tamil Nadu Startup and Innovation Policy 2019. All right, and when you take this is called TANSUM, they say, identify private IP to engage startups and co-working, and they're finding even from students you need to have a startup, and existing IP supports will strengthen the patent information and intellectual property information. So with this is startup Tamil Nadu. Can you see this website? Startup Tamil Nadu. Startuptn.in. So here they're giving opportunity for TN SC Startup Fund. Okay, and see the policy 2018 to 2023 policy. You can download it, and can you see, you have to have an idea, and the idea has to be validated and early traction, and then we go in for scaling. Can you see they have got a startup law, startup T and brand ambassadors. They're providing seed funds. They're providing seed funds for people. Okay, they're providing seed funds for people. See, it was on June 3rd, 2022. We had Tamil Nadu, Startup Tamil Nadu launch pad. Okay, Minister through TM Anbarasan sir. And then we have the emerging sector seed fund through innovation. Have you got an idea? That is what you have an idea. Every support is given by the government. They could reshape your future through innovation and technology. We have got some fund to make it true. Is it wonderful? See, the government is asking only you have an idea. And they have got pool of people to validate it, to license it, so much and so more. Okay, this website also you can see MSME Tamil Nadu .gov.in. This is the link that I've shared, right, wherein you can get the total policy. What students, this is a 40 pages report. You can find it out onto this. All right, and this is called TANSEM, Tamil Nadu Startup and Innovation Mission. TANSEM stands for, see, also innovating ecosystem in the state on these different sectors, maybe in agriculture, in manufacturing, healthcare, in education, logistics, social sector, urban development, financial technology, ICT. Have you seen this website, students? Startup Tamil Nadu, Startup India. Yes, no? So this is the Tansem's website, Startup TN. So exciting opportunities for startup to work till 12th June. Okay, today is 11th, till tomorrow, and make an impact on socially deprived. Okay, and so many things they keep doing. I showed you about the startup policy. Okay, as a startup, as an enabler, service provider, get recognized. Till 15th June, you can also register. It's startup launchpad. All right, are you all there? So when you have to see, your idea is more important. How do you validate it? How do you make a pattern? How do you license it? Then how do you scale it? How do you bring it to your market? What is the market research? These are the things that we have seen still now. One of the basic components of a startup is that you need, why do customers need your product? Who would benefit from your product and services? Right? What is the business model? What is the marketing strategy? How people are there? Right? Say, for example, the car. Okay, the car company. If you take, for example, okay, can you recently say which car company sale is more now, presently, 2022? Which company car sale is more? Please do answer. I think I will not be able to conduct the quiz. I prepared the quiz for you, but still, I don't want to rush through things. Which car company has got good sales in 2022? You're giving me an answer. Okay. Can you see in May 2022, Maruti, next comes Nexon, which is Tata. But Tata product was very less. But after they launched a new vehicle like Safari, Harrier, Nexon, they picked up in their market. And the next place is Swift, again Maruti. This is Baleno Maruti, Alto Maruti, Ertiga, Swift Desire, Hyundai Creta, Eco, again from Maruti, Brisa, Punch, Titan, Bolero, Venue, Sonnet, Celero, Seltos, XUV Ignis, and XUV 300. Can you see? This is what they do, the analysis of how people are working and how it has been changed, the manufacturing trends. Okay, it was a depletion and again it was an increase, especially when you see Tata in May 2021, they were very less and gradually they are improving now. Can you see? Some of them were above and now they are a little lower. So this is how they do a lot of analysis in the market, the marketing analysis. All right, marketing strategy. Who else is fighting for the market share? How will a startup revolutionize the marketplace with the product and services? So different types of things could be done based on your size of company. You know now government has given even 1% company. All right, and when you think about this a single person company or size of the company, micro company, small company, medium company, number of members, one person, private limited or public limited company, the basics of controls, who can hold it, what is a subsidiary, who are the associate companies, what are the liabilities, okay, listed company, unlisted company, these are the 7 types of registration. Sole proprietorship, only one person. Okay, 1% company, only he runs the entire thing. Partnership, you have a partner of set of people. Limited liability partnership, LLP, company registration is available. Private limited, you earn, you pay the tax and you take the entire gain. You cannot put your things, shares on the stock or something, right, the market. But public limited you can do it. Section is my company, which is a non-profit organization. Okay, it all comes under the registration. Private limited, only 2 to a maximum of 15. Okay, at least one director must be an Indian citizen. Okay, they have to have a capital of 1 lakh, official address in India. Public also official address in India, but they could trade their shares, but not the private limited company. Partnership with or without license also, you can have a partnership deed, then you can have a company partnership firm. Limited liability partners also minimum 1 lakh, but minimum 2 partners. There is no cap on their maximum number. Okay, and here there is no requirement for shared capital or something. OPC, I told you, right, only one person. And sole proprietor, where single individual handles the running of the business. You will have people, but only one single individual does everything. The tax filing, account reporting, everything will be under the name of the person. Okay, Section 8 is my organization that I've registered. This is a non-profit organization for charitable funds purposes, and here you work for arts, science, literary, education, caring for the needy, and protecting the environment. We work for education. During the pandemic, we have trained more faculties on hands-on session on how to take online classes, more than 5,000 plus faculties. Okay, caring for the needy. 2 months once we go to the outreach and we give things to the people who are in need on who are living on the road, and we have given it for on December 21st. You can see on my website on social services, on December, on February, on April, the next service. We all generate our funds on our own. Like one person can give 2 t-shirts for people, or 1 2 or cotton sarees, or towels for them, or lungis for them. So we also contribute, we also get it. This is what we do, the social services. And if you click onto this is on December 27th, February 6th, and it is to be updated on April, and next will be on June 19th that we'll be doing it. Okay, each of them we go and see people on the road. We provided bed sheets on December for people because it was a cold climate for them. So we provided bed sheets for 50 people who are on the road. You can see to it what we have done. So this is a Section 8 company. We have education and also environmental. We encourage people to at least to plant one tree in a year. Okay, try to plant at least one tree in a year. So these are the things that whatever the profits that we give, we don't take it as dividends, but we do it for the upliftment of the society. And we both are the directors, myself and my husband, and we no capital requirements, so it was easy for us. We have an official address in India. You can see our website. Okay, I told you all these details about, and I'll share my profile of my company. What you are going to do, you should be very, very, very clear in doing what you're going to do. So I'll just share my business profile and I'll conclude my talk. All right, I hope you are able to see. I don't know, maybe you're all feeling hungry or you're angry. I'm not getting responses from you. Okay. So far, how many of you are able to understand? Something new have you learned? And still more, I've got a couple of content, but I will not be able to share it because we don't have much time. Okay. So our vision of our company is to contribute to nation building through innovative mentoring and research driven. So a lot of students, they come for internship. The way they come for internship is that we train them and they develop a project on their own. Nothing is given from our side. Like final year students also, we train them like every semester break, and by the end of third year, they are thoroughly developed, but thoroughly trained on the technology and what problem, what kind of solution. Final year, they only develop the project. And also we encourage them to write journals, not encourage, we make them to write journals on good reputed journals and conferences. Okay, that will be the takeaway, which is quite different from other businesses onto this. All right, and also we develop for cyber security components and also software developments according to the requirements that we get. Okay, so our vision is to contribute to nation building through innovative mentoring. We, being academicians, I strongly believe you are the assets of a nation. The students are the assets of a nation. Like we tell computer science engineer, maybe sometimes at the end of 4 years, if you're not able to do a coding on your own, then it's not that, then you cannot say that you're a computer science engineer. We get doctors at the end of fourth year, right? 4 years, and they get into a job of treating patients. But say engineering students, no, you don't do it. Again, you go on for a training, then you learn technology, then you learn languages, then you're going into a job and you are trying hard to keep your job. So this was a need analysis gap. That is what we started from this. And it's an 12A and an NGO DARPAN certified company. And we are a totally we are research driven organizations, and we provide on learning and development and research outsourcing to students, researchers, and institutions. Okay, we train and we develop. We have one-to-one guidance for PhD scholars for publication on renowned journal. We just show you the pathway and you drive the car. Okay, an institution like trusted partners for training and make students job ready. All right, and we have trained 5,000 plus students with training, with hands-on project, and also on career guidance. All right, and training stacks, data science and analytics. We give, this is my objective, and this is very clear. And the machine learning and artificial, you know, I'm an ML and data deep learning trainer. Okay, on website development, maybe using Django or HTML, CSS, and Bootstrap, cyber security and cyber forensics, knowledge management like ontology tools, digital education tools like Google Classroom and different tools. And LaTeX is a tool that is used to, what do I say, that is the one that is used for preparing your journal documentation. Okay, as researchers, they say between 2021 to 25, the global research and development house is expected to grow between 7.8%. So there is a large need for qualified researchers. So on project support. So what we do, we from ideation to data collection to publication, we help you out, and then paper publications to write on accumulate journals, and how do you file patents if you come with your idea, how it could be fine-tuned. So, and our focus areas on big data analytics, data clustering, cloud computing, data visualization, predictive modeling, machine learning. Not everything, it's very, very specific. All right. So we work with 2,200 plus institutions on training partners, research partners, and center of excellence in colleges. All right, technological partners. And these are the courses we have provided for different organizations till now. All the details you can see it on the website too. All right, and also we do software development, research setup and customization. Like several colleges and schools, we have developed it during the pandemic. And AI, and you said I'm the director of a Bethel group of schools. And for our school, we have developed in 2017 itself the Google Classroom, right? The knowledge management, mobile application, website development, all right, and the SOEs. And we're planning to, this is under development, which will enable the researchers to streamline their research activities. These are different colleges that I worked in, and these are the social service already. I showed you what we do it every month, and this will be on June 19th. All right. And I think we don't have much time, so we just got into it, how to move on into the ideation still your startup and how it's to be a licensed, and still many more things are there, inventions and innovations. Innovation is invention into commercialization. We literally need to do a commercialization of it, otherwise only having idea. Sometimes with the idea itself, some of the ideas are buried. With invention, it is buried, but innovation is invention multiplied by commercialization. Invention was first wheel, and this was the innovation. World Wide Web was invention, Facebook was innovation. The power of an idea is more important. The necessity is the mother of inventions, right? So, if you say inventor is the father of invention, and we are entrepreneurs, right? A father of innovation. Okay, the father of invention is inventor. The father of innovation. Innovation is invention multiplied by commercialization. How do you commercialize it? Those are called entrepreneurs. Okay, this is Thomas Alva Edison. You can find all his invention. Very less inventors and entrepreneurs are same, and one such person is Thomas Alva Edison. For some cases, inventor will be one person, entrepreneur will be some other person. When you take on Thomas Alva Edison, he was an inventor and also the entrepreneur. All right, and I'm not going much into it. So innovation is invention multiplied by commercialization. Is it clear? Innovation is invention. Entrepreneurs are the ones who make it commercialized. Sometimes inventors are different and entrepreneurs are different, but some cases both are same. Okay, this is something I'm not having time. Maybe sometime in my channel you can find it out. How for a very costly thing in AIM, they have done $1 when people have throat cancer. They cut the voice box so they'll not be able to speak. So they may, in India they found a very small device with $1 where it is easily affordable, and the people even after a surgery they're able to speak. This myself and my husband visited AMTS Andhra Medtech Zone, very beautiful place where they're giving so much of place for startups. And even we have seen college students bring the idea because they've got a pool of resources where they're able to find people, calibrate it, license it, give it to me, whether it is good to the market. It is the oxygen concentrator. Okay, being into a computer science field, these are the things that you need to be very thorough. In the top 9 technological trends: artificial intelligence, machine learning, robotic process automation, edge computing, the quantum computing, right? The VR, AR, the blockchain, IoT, and 5G technologies. All right. And we don't have much time for today. And I don't want to cross much over the time. And I hope this session would have been useful. And I'll share my contact details. Kindly find it out anywhere. Sometime you'd like to contact for any kind of inventions or any guidance, kindly do feel free to contact me. I'd like to thank the entire management of SKCET for having invited me to give a talk. I hope this talk would have been useful to you. Thank you all. Over to the organizers.
Gratitude is not only the greatest of virtues, but the barest of all others. I bow in gratitude in thanking Dr. Doreen Robin, Founder, Director, Computational Intelligence Research Foundation, Chennai. Thank you, ma'am, for sowing the seed of knowledge to us by your informative session. I hope your words will enhance and motivate us. I thank our chairperson, Dr. Malavali, ma'am. I thank our principal and Dr. J. Janet, and Head of the Department, Dr. K. Sasiklarani, who's been our pillars of strength. I thank our coordinator, Mr. N. Venkateshwaran, Department of CSE, for organizing this informative and useful seminar. I thank all the faculties of CSE department and students for taking part in the session. Thank you all.